This was going to focus on showing you how to solo the final dungeon boss Caiatl of the new dungeon Duality. So the mechanics are the same as what we've had previous. You've got the mirror world and the standard world, and you've got the symbols. You've got to go into the mirror world to obtain said symbol. So you obviously want to look at what symbols there is, which shows you in middle what they are. You have 3 bells, middle, left, right. Choose them wisely because the symbols obviously are at certain locations. So we have sun top left, axe top right, dog bottom left, cup bottom right. That's as you're looking from spawn. So we had top 2. We had axe and sun. So I got the right side bell, went for axe, done an empowering rift because classy restoration's on, so we're going to be able to tank the Colossus. But I do recommend you clear the Colossus in the mirror world. And then after that you need to clear out the bell bearers, which is 4. Once done, you need to exit. You're timed. So you need to get into a good rhythm of doing that. If you need to use your well in mirror world, then use it. You can always farm it back when you're out here. There's no time here. In the mirror world there is. So what I'm doing here is I'm using classy restoration to get the dunks easier. Obviously I'm going to make sure I'm going to get a grenade kill back though. A grenade kill to get my rift back each time though. I couldn't get that second dunk because there was a backpack there. Try and take out all the backpacks. Obviously you'll get 2 bell bearers left, middle and right. They are a problem though when you're trying to dunk symbols on the either sides. The middle ones not so much, but the ones on the outside, they can boop you and stuff. And then it's just rinse and repeat after that. We just need to dunk sun though before we can see the next set of symbols. There's 4 symbols per damage phase, so when you get the 4th dunk, you're then ready for damage. Right, so it's quite long per phase as well. Not only that, the damage requirement for the solo is quite difficult because of how the damage works. My damage could have been a lot better than what it was, as I'm still new to this boss fight, to be honest. But on this setup that I've got, you could definitely free phase it if you optimize. Mine wasn't quite a free phase because my damage just wasn't quite there. I panicked a little bit on the damage stuff. But yeah, this setup is good for the free phase. So we'll get a empowering rift, a restoration, so we can get our dunk. Then we'll see the next set of symbols. So we've got dog, which will be bottom left, and then cup, which will be top left. So it's left side. See, those sort of rotations of symbols where if it's all left or all right or all top or all bottom is great. The hard rotation is where you say, for example, get sun, which is top left, and then cup, which is bottom right. When you have to go like that, that means you've got to change your route in the mirror world. The backpacks, the bell bearers can boop you off the map. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong with this, which is why I think people find it difficult overall. We're also using a Lucent Blade build. You can see Charge of Light with Supercharged, Elemental Ordnance and Elemental Charge, so we get Charge of Light via wells, solar wells. We're going to shoot the left bell here to get dog. Then we're actually going to go for the Colossus. Sometimes I'll do an empowering rift, sometimes I won't. I don't think I had an empowering rift there, so I had to push him. Solar grenades, fusion grenades do short work of those. So here's the thing, there's a Colossus at the back of the map and at the top of the map. If you clear one of the Colossus, it clears half of the map. It means you can take the bell bearers easier. The dogs are going to rush you though, so this is what the fusion's on for. The fusion's good for just clearing the mages, and the sword's also good for that, and it's also decent for damage. So that's why I've got the fusion and the sword, and the scout's just my workhorse weapon that I can use from a distance. So we'll get our dunks. I always use that empowering rift when I'm going for a dunk. It's just safe, unless there's a lot of ads cleared. So onto the spawns. There's an infinite wave of scions like the rest of the dungeon. However, the solar shields, they are not infinite. They are based on when you get your dunks in middle. So I think you get 3 or 4 per wave. I think it might be 3. So like you're getting 6 in total for 2 dunks, I think. So it's a lot, and they just keep stacking up. So you need to sort of take care of them. Now we're going to do damage. So you saw I do damage to the bell from a distance. Then I'm going to go into middle, because by the time I go there, I am teleported. Then what you want to do for DPS is clear the 2 backpacks in middle and keep an eye on Caiatl. You then need to get a stun on the bell just as the boss gets there, and then we're going to do some damage with Lament. Now if your Lament damage is good, like mine wasn't very good because I was sort of panicking on damage. Once your DPS is over the resonance buff, you see in the 10 seconds, you need to look for where that boss is going. He's going left. I saw he stood to the left, so you need to pay attention to the boss. Get a stun when he's close to the bell though, of course. We'll do a well here. Now I'm just going to do some fusion rifle damage and fusion nades. I sort of go between the two, but really you should be doing all Lament damage, to be honest, to get the free cycle. I also sort of lost damage to try and kill the bell bearers quicker for a more consistent run. Watch they don't fall off. We'll get our next stun. We'll do an Empower and Rift because the snipers are hitting us. My strategy is that I don't deal with the snipers. I don't take them at all. Just because I've got a well for one of the plates and I have an Empower and Rift for the other 2. Once the boss starts to walk away, you won't have the resonance buff and you won't be able to do much damage at all. So don't even bother. Just concentrate on the snipers, take them out, or just hide like I am here. Then it's rinse and repeat. You'll get a fresh set of bell bearers for the sides that you've cleared. Say for example, if you've left middle bell bearers up like I did, obviously they're there anyways, but if you've cleared them all, then you've cleared them all. It just depends. You should only be needing to take 2 sets out, but when you're getting ready for damage, those bell bearers, before you get ported, can kill you. So it's worth taking them out as well. So our damage is just below a third. So as I said, if it had been a little bit better, would have been good. We actually got ported here, and I don't know why. I think because I've done damage with my grenade, so we're going to have to make shift. This is the thing with this class. It's really good, but the area of effect damage is that good where it can do damage to a bell and port you. This can wipe encounters. It could ruin a Solar Flawless. There's a mod called Solar Fulmination, right? Don't use it. Just don't use it. It's too good of a mod, and it's not good for this dungeon because it can get you killed because of its increased radius and all sorts. So stuff like this happening on a run isn't good, and you can fall off map because the mirror world's different to the standard world. You could be standing in a location where you just drop to your death. So try not to do that. I guess you just need to sort of be careful when you're nading adds. If they're next to the bell and a bell is open, you will get tick damage on that bell and you'll be ported. So that's a huge mistake there that you need to pick up on. But regardless, we got our 2 symbols. Luckily I'd checked before. That's your routine for this fight. As soon as you come back after damage, the first thing you should really do is check your symbols. Check your symbols, then start working on bell bearers and adds. And any solar shields, because obviously you'll get the solar shields. Adds are clear for the most part there, so I'll get a dunk. Then I'll do my Ember Rift to get classy restoration, and then we'll go for the other dunk. This is safer than what it looks. This doesn't look safe, but it is. This season it is. Next season, when classy restoration goes away, you won't be able to do that. You'll have to clear the adds a bit better. But while it's up, you know, make use of it. You know, it's a moment of invulnerability for us, so you may as well use it. And you can get your Rift back easy with Starfire Protocol. Obviously, that's the build we're using. I'm using a Tier 9 Resilience, Tier 7 Recovery, and Tier 9 Discipline. It's not the best I would want. I would want 100 stats on it, but it's good enough for this at least. But really prioritise the Resilience. Recovery not as important, but it is still kind of important. You know, when you're playing in this room, because there's obviously a lot of adds and stuff like that, and they keep spawning up. So we'll use the fusion to spawn kill. We're not going to take out that Colossus. We always take out the Colossus with the final bearer that you kill. The final bearer that you kill on that side, that's what I do. I clear out that Colossus. We're having trouble with him right now though, and I'm wasting time. That's because I'm missing my fusion nade, so I had to actually well up, pick up my essence, and then I have to slay out because I've messed up missing my nades. But generally with my routine, I will clear out that Colossus, and as long as you stick with your nades, you're fine. So when you mess up, use Lament. Even if it means wasting ammo, just use it, because obviously you're gonna wipe. So that was probably my worst middle world run right there. As I say, if you mess up, use your super if you have to, because you're gonna get plenty. We're using Ash's assets on the helmet, so we get increased intellect. Yeah, super energy, obviously. We're seeing if we can get a dunk. We can't, so I'll try and get a grenade kill. And it's just a case of rinse and repeat from here. Icarus dash is sort of a must, because you're doing a lot of traversal. So aspects, Icarus dash, touch of flame, and I showed the fragments at the start of the video, so you should see what they were. So we'll dunk on cup. The bell is primed. Like I said, there's different ways of doing this. I actually primed it there. I actually got ported here. So I don't know why I got ported. I don't know how that happened. It must have been my solar melee abilities or something. But anyways, we'll get a stun on this side. This is why my DPS was less, because I was unprepared here. There's still a bell bearer in middle, so I'm going to go for him. We sacrifice on damage, but I needed to take him out. Now, when he goes right or left, you need to check if he's going middle first. He isn't. You can see he's going over this side, so we'll take out the bearers. Try and buy some time by letting the boss stomp you. Then we can use Lament. Try not to fusion nade when you're using Lament if you haven't got a well, or if you haven't got Empowering Rift. This is why my damage was suffered, now I realise, because I got ported when I shouldn't have done, and I wasn't prepped for damage. So, and I didn't have Lucent Blade. So obviously it's going to be middle at the end, so we'll just prioritise our damage as best as possible. We do end up getting a well, but at the very end, unfortunately. And what happened with my Lament there? Sometimes it's quite off. So anyways, that's the second phase. After DPS, it will always port you at the back of the map, so wherever you're standing here, doesn't matter, you'll always port there, so that's good. It means that you're not going to get teleported where bell bearers are, because they can one-shot you, both of them. They do their blast attack. That can be a death. So that's why I like to clear them as well. Sometimes I'll clear bell bearers on the side that doesn't even need to be taken out. The reason for it is just because they have that one-shot capability of doing that. So now we'll do a bit of ag clear. We need to farm up ammo anyways, so you're sort of doing the same thing at once. If you prioritise standing in your rift and getting a lot of grenades, then ag clear isn't too bad in the room. As I said, you just need to prioritise mainly the backpacks and the solar shields, and just keep on top of it each phase, rather than just leaving it and getting dunks. So let's look at what symbols we've got here. We've got cup and axe. So that's a good rotation, because that's all right side. So I'll take right bell. I just push up to right bell, use the fusion. And then I'll jump over there as I'm going over. It just saves that little bit of extra time. I could use the scout from a distance and stand on there. I also do that sometimes. Just depends how I feel. They both work. We'll get Lament to heal us. This is Empowering Rift. Saves us with the Colossus. Don't forget to pick up the standing essence, right? Because you're going to have to come back in here if that's the case. Obviously, when you kill a bearer, the snipers that give you the essence, they give you extra time. They give you an extra 10 seconds. If you get one symbol and then you need to come back in to get another, just know that that's going to be more difficult, because you're going to end up killing a bearer that's wrong, and you lose 10 seconds if you get the wrong essence. So try and get both symbols in the one run, because if you don't, you're going to have less time on the second phase. And you're going to have 4 bearers to kill, same thing again. We'll do our usual Empower and Rift. Then get our dunks. You can get 2 dunks if they're close. You can get 2 dunks in one go, but I wouldn't risk it to be fair, because it's quite a long boss fight. Even a free phase, you're looking at just below 20 minutes on a free phase on this loadout. So even then, it's quite a long run. You can actually go all the way to the back of the map. You can actually play like that. Just make sure you got Empower and Rift and stuff though, and health regen. But you can actually do that and do ad clear from back there. There's actually a no turn back zone eventually though. It's not the safest place to stand because there's not much cover, but you can stand there. You can sort of map rotate and kite the ads around the room, which you see me do that a bit, especially when I need to shoot the bell for damage. Not the bell, but the middle things. When the bell is primed, you can have the ads on right and then shoot on left if there is quite a couple of ads up. You will get bumped by these sounds quite a lot with their ability, but again, this is why the scout's decent, because you play from the back of the map quite a lot. So the scout's good. It's got dead big ones in it, which is fairly noticeable. It can do that bit of extra damage to the bearers if you just want to use a scout, which sometimes I do. You can't just spam fusion the entire run. You can't just spam sword the entire run. So you do want, you know, a good primary as well, I think. So we'll shoot middle bell, and we're already here prepped for the essence. Now this is the hard rotation. This is the one where you've got to go through the middle. Watch the bearers don't shoot you. Actually no, I didn't have a... No, what happened there was the bearers were on my side, which means they can boot you off the map. So I went through middle and then looped round because they could just easily boot you off. That's why I done that. Now we'll use a bit of Empower and Rift here. Now obviously because I've took the Colossus out, this side of the map's free. So these ads, these bearers, they're more likely to dodge your grenade the closer you are to them. So if you can get a good stick from a distance, that will sometimes clear out both of them. That's why the fusion nades are so good for this. If you don't have your fusion nades, then go in with the Lament. If you stop for time, just use the Lament, because this is where you can spam your this is where you can farm ammo up. So even if you want to use a well each mirror world, you could with the super build, because obviously I've got Ashes assets on, so you could just super every one. I mean, I don't think you need to with Classy Restoration, but sometimes there'll be moments where you do mess up with a Colossus, you lose time, or you're getting sniped quite a lot, stuff like that. So this is the next phase of damage. This phase damage is how it should be done, really, mainly. Each phase you should be doing something similar to this. So we'll get our stun. We're going to well first play it. I just decided to do that. I don't know what's going on with my Lament lately. My charge attack, I don't know. So we'll come into middle to see what he's going to do. See, he comes to middle. So we'll get the stun here. We'll do our 10 seconds of damage, then we're going for the other side. We've got Empower and Rift, we'll use it because the snipers are hitting us quite a lot. If you're quick enough, you can get the 2 light heavy rev attack within the 10 seconds if you're good enough with the Lament, and that's what you need to do basically to get the free cycle. And then it's just the final phase, so I guess it's just the same thing over and over. As I say, I'll cover each encounter individually. There's the vault. I might make a video on the vault or not, or I might just start working on the soul falls, we'll see. The entire run, there's a lot that can go wrong in this dungeon in terms of Galran's pretty safe. The Vault is pretty safe, providing that you use a good loadout, LMG and stuff. You want to focus ad clear. This is, to me, this is the most dangerous, I think. Just because of what can happen with the Colossus and stuff. I actually had Solar Void resistant Concussive Dampener, which worked well, because Concussive Dampener does defend against the Colossus. However, so would Arc. So it's up to you really, but the Concussive Dampener worked well because the boss stomps. So if you didn't know, when a boss stomps, Concussive Dampener will protect against that. So I think probably, or you can go double solar, right? So there's different ways to go around it. But the biggest thing is, make sure that you got the resistance. Tier 7 resilience is minimum, I think. Because that's where you get the 20% resistance. Then it scales up massively from there. And at tier 10, it's 40%. I was tier 9, which was enough. Right, but you can stack resistance mods on top of that. You could even go Protective Light. I know it's only 10, I think it's only 10%, but that would still be 10% plus the 40. Or you can use the Well of Tenacity or whatever it's called. I think it's Well of Tenacity. But you only get that resistance of Well of Tenacity when you pick up the well for 5 seconds. Whereas Protective Light is a constant thing. I know it's only 10%. So don't sleep on Protective Light. You could use that. But obviously we're using Lucent Blade, which, to be honest, I was using a lot on the backpacks, the bell bearers, when we're doing damage. So I was losing Lucent Blade. In an ideal world, you shouldn't be really sorting them at all, and just use the fusion for the bearers. If you want the absolute prime damage, and as I say, if everything has to go perfect, though, just bear in mind on this setup. Obviously on a Titan, you can solo one phase it and what have you. But on the Warlock, everything has to go your way to get the free phase. And you have to execute. Like, my execution on damage, to be honest, wasn't the best. I know that. But obviously we're going to cover the Soul Flawless anyways. This is just for the start, just to sort of explain the boss fight. Because I'm told quite often that, you know, a lot of these dungeon videos, people are uploading them, but they're not really telling you how to do it. And what you need to understand is, if you're not involved in the solo community sort of thing of Destiny, it's sort of a sub-community of Destiny, if you like. If you don't know who all the solo players are and you're not involved and you're not doing it yourself, then you're not going to really understand it, right? And a lot of these people are uploading it to show you, to say, look, I done this, what do you think of it? Whereas the way I upload it isn't meant to be like that. It's meant to be, this is how I can help you do it, without me actually going on your account and doing it, which obviously Bungie frowns upon. So I don't even do that. I've never done it. People have asked me, but I've never done it. So this is the next best thing, basically showing you moment-to-moment gameplay on how to do it. And I know that obviously I've been slow uploading these dungeon videos and people have been doing that. But obviously, as I explained on the other video, I haven't been on to sort of practice the dungeon, whatnot. But I understand my content's desirable because people don't make it like me. I have my own style. Not to say that my style's better than the other guys, because there's some guys that are far better than me at the game, and I understand that. But I offer a certain type of content that takes a lot of work. I've got to rewatch the run. I've got to do commentary on it, etc., etc. Whereas the process time is doubled, as opposed to just uploading it with no commentary, right? But it is a lot of work, and that's why people ain't going to do it like this. And not only that, they don't, maybe shy. They don't want to show their voice. They don't want people to see their hear their voice. Sorry. So there's a lot that goes into it. I don't care that way. I'm not fussed. I couldn't care less. So I'm still going to obviously upload this clear anyways, because it's just my version of it, if you like. But obviously after this, we'll either do the solo vault or just go for the solo flawless. Because I've pretty much learned the dungeon now with the learning curve. So this is the final phase. He's pretty much dead at this point. He's quite not there yet, so I'm going to see which way he goes. He's going right, you can clearly see that. So we'll just finish off these bearers and then finish off this run. Hope you enjoy, thank you.